G'day guys, Joel mate Big J here and welcome to another edition of Aussie Boxing Talk, and today we're going to be reviewing the Jai Opeatia versus the Italian bloke whose name I can't even be bothered to remember. I'm sorry, it's a bit disrespectful to the Italian fella, but I couldn't be bothered because Jai knocked him out in 5, which he probably should have knocked him out in 3. I quickly want to touch on the actual event itself, and I've seen some videos from other people like the great Lyndon Hosking, who's been a guest on this show, and he brought up a good point, is that why the fuck is the main event on at 11 o'clock at night? That's far too late. All right. In Australia, you got to remember on Wednesday night, when No Limit, the main event's not in the ring till sometimes 10 or 11 o'clock at night. People have got to go to work the next fucking day. All right. It's like, stop having these main events on so bloody late. I mean, like the footy, even the AFL and the NRL, because the AFL goes for longer than what the NRL does. If they kick off at 7, they're done by 10:30. At the latest, NRL, normally about 2 hours per game. Probably, you got 2 40-minute halves plus a 10-minute or 10 or 15-minute half-time break. So you're looking at about 90 or so minutes, right? If the game kicks off at 7:30, you're done by 9:15, right? People are walking out the door. But to have a main event on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock at night is fucking ridiculous. People are going to go to work the next day. Now, especially in Queensland, because that fight was held in Queensland on the Gold Coast, which is just, like the Gold Coast is where the border is. So people in New South Wales that lived in New South Wales, I think King's birthday is today, because I am currently living in Victoria, so it's King's birthday today. We've got the day off. So people in Victoria, no big deal, we've got the day off. But people in Queensland, you're having the fight on a Sunday night, which is never fucking heard of. I can't remember the last time an event was held on a Sunday night. I mean, I thought it was Sunday, not Sunday night. So I thought that was weird. But, you're having it on a bloody Sunday night and the main event's not in the ring until 11 o'clock at night. And, these are all one-sided mismatches. I mean, Jai knocked out the Italian bloke in 5 rounds, should have knocked him out in 3. And it looked like Jai was beating up a blown-up super middleweight because he had at least 5 inches of height on him and probably 10 kilos of weight because he weighed in at 86 kilos. I'm pretty sure Jai rehydrates to about 210, 215 by the time he's after the weigh-in. Jai smacked this guy out, and as I said on T Street's video last night, it's actually up on T Street's video, YouTube video now. You can't call yourself an A-grade fighter if you keep fighting C and D-grade competition, right? You just, I blame the IBF, because how the fuck was this guy ever in the bloody ratings in the first place? So I know that the cruiserweight division is extremely weak, right? It's always been a weak division. There's never been a top-tier division. And it was a bit shit because Conor Wallace's fight at light heavyweight, it was just a stay busy fight, 8 rounds. It was pretty boring. He should have got him out of there. But Conor Wallace, like every light heavyweight who's a top-tier contender, is basically the whole division's in limbo because of Benavides and Bivol. They're having their 3rd fight, which I'm not quite sure when. David Benavides is going to get his crack at the WBC belt. I'm not sure when that's happening either. So the light heavyweight division is being held up due to the rubber match between Benavides and Bivol. So people like Conor Wallace won't get their crack anytime soon. And Colin Wallace is damn near 30. He's 29 years old. So his prime is starting to pass him by and hasn't even got a title shot yet. So, and that's a bit of a shame because he just keeps on fighting these keep busy fights and never actually gets his title shot. But here's the real thing I wanted to mention, and this is not just directed at Jai, this is directed at a couple of fighters. There was some traditional Samoan dancers in the event, and I don't have a problem with that. I think it's great. I think it's good that we embrace other cultures, and there was a tribal dance or a Samoan display or whatever it was entertaining, it was good. You could see that the performers really liked what they were doing. It's filler content, which the Zone is notorious for. I don't have a problem with it. It's It's a nice little, chance intermission where people can get up and go to the toilet and get a drink and get ready for the next fight. Actually, I think they even did it before the co-main, which I thought they would have done it before the main event. But anyway, that I didn't have a problem with. So the cultural dances and all that sort of stuff, okay, that's fine. It's just a little bit of entertainment, bit of an intermission. No problem. Here's what I have a problem with. Jai Opeatia is a born and bred Australian, right? I'm pretty sure he's born somewhere in New South Wales, but he lives on the Gold Coast. Why is he playing the Samoan national anthem? Right? I'm pretty sure, I think someone told me that his father was born in Samoa, or he's here or Samoa, it doesn't matter. He's a born and bred Australian. Why are you playing the Samoan national anthem? And can someone tell me in the comments, because I don't remember if they did they even play the opponent's national anthem? Because normally when you have a world title fight, you have anthems of both opponents. So you have the Italian national anthem for the Italian bloke, then you have the Australian anthem. What does the Samoan national anthem have to do with anything? Jai Opeatia doesn't represent Samoa, he represents Australia. His passport is Australian, he's not Samoan. Unless he's got dual citizenship, which, that's another story for another day. There are people out there that have dual citizenships. I personally know some people that do. But I'm like, you're not fighting for Samoa, you're fighting for Australia. Right? Where's the patriotism? Because George Kambosos is the same. He's not Greek. He wasn't born in Greece. He wasn't raised in Greece. He was born and raised in Sydney. Yeah, he's of Greek heritage. That's fine. But you're not Greek, mate. You're Australian. All right? And before people come after me in the comments, and I don't give a flying fuck if you come after me in the comments anyway, like I give a shit what anyone on YouTube says about me. The people that actually have the most case to do this don't do it. Tim, have you ever seen Tim Tszyu even remotely talk about Russia? He barely mentions it. Both his parents, Kostya and I think Nicola is his mother's name, were both born and raised in Russia. Didn't come over here until their early 20s, right? You don't see Tim carrying around a Russian flag and playing the Russian national anthem at his events. Not that would go down well at the moment with world events, but you get my point. You don't see him flying around, doing the Russian national anthem and all that sort of stuff. I mean, he speaks Russian to Uncle Igor in the corner. They speak Russian. Nikita's the same. He doesn't carry around the Russian flag and do anything like that. You never see him with a Russian flag. Right? So, Sky Nicholson's another one. Both her parents were born and raised in England. I mean, Sky lives in England. Even Sky lives in England now. She goes, I'm Australian. She was born and raised in Queensland. She's a Queenslander. You don't see her flying around the British flag and playing God Save the King before her fights. So, I really have a problem with that because I'm like, where's the patriotism? Like, yeah, I know. Okay, you're from a certain heritage. That's fine. I'm from Scottish heritage, right? I would look silly playing the Scottish national anthem. I've never even been outside my own country, right? I've never been overseas, right? Never been overseas. Probably really have no intentions of ever going overseas. It doesn't interest me, right? Why are you playing a national anthem of another country? Yeah, okay, it's your country of heritage. You're an Australian. Where's the patriotism? And Shanika Johnson's another one. She comes out the ring with the Maori flag. Like, are you Australian or are you a Kiwi? Which one would you want to be? You can't be both. You're either one or the other. Huh? So, and it's funny because no other country, no other fighters do. You don't see an American do it. You don't see, you don't see the Brits do this. You don't see them carrying out multiple flags and playing multiple national anthems. You just see them, the Americans come out and they play the American flag. They wear the American flag and they play the American national anthem. That's it. Same with the Brits. God Save the King. Right? I don't understand why it's necessary to do this. I understand that people have heritage and I can respect that. But that doesn't mean you have to, lack of a better term, cram it down our throats. right? It's irrelevant to the task. I don't see why playing the Samoan national anthem, considering neither fighter's from there, has got anything to do with a world title fight. I really don't. And I think this has got to stop, where you say, well, mate, pick a nation and stick to it. That's it just frustrates me, because, you know, patriotism in this country is frowned upon now. In fact, patriotism in any country is frowned upon now. It's like, you're not allowed to be an Australian, which is bullshit. I served 10 years for this country in the army. I'm proud to have an Aussie flag. I've got one lying around here somewhere. So, you know, I'm all for people celebrating their culture and heritage and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. But I don't think it's necessary to play a national anthem from a country that's got nothing to do from the fight. You're not Samoan, you're Australian. He's Italian. What's Samoa got to do with anything? So, like, share, subscribe, guys. Leave your thoughts on the comments. I'd actually be interested in hearing what the public has to say about this. If you're all for it, let me know. If you think, yep, he can do it all he wants, he's proud Samoan heritage, blah, 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 yeah, he can knock himself out. And it also drags the event out. It's the other thing. It's an extra 3 minutes. That's a round of fighting. You know, it's an extra 90 seconds or whatever it is to, you know, as I said, the event's on, the bloody main event's not in the ring till 11 o'clock at night, and they're playing a national anthem that has got nothing to do with the fight. It just drags the event out. So, just some food for thought, guys. Leave, like, share, subscribe, leave your comments in the comment section. Harden yourselves up. Tackle the ball, wrestle croc, harden yourselves the fuck up, and we'll see you again another day.